Through the Ashes, Chapter 3, Code Black. Charlotte, North Carolina, Atrium Health Carolinas. Medical Center, Saturday, 8:58 a.m. Nurse Camille Rivas rubbed her temples with 2 fingers and exhaled slowly through her nose. 28 hours on shift. 2 codes, 3 traumas, 1 new intern who couldn't handle a compound fracture without dry heaving. But the board was finally quiet. And for the first time in what felt like days, the trauma bay smelled like coffee instead of blood. The world, for one fragile second, was still. Camille sat at the nurse's station, sipping lukewarm espresso from a reusable, heartbeat-strong mug. She scrolled through an email about mandatory patient de-escalation training, then minimized it and stared at the glass doors of Trauma Room 3. The lights were low. The ventilator was off. The room had been empty for 6 minutes. Just a white sheet where Mr. Calhoun used to be. 57, heart attack, DOA. His wife had held his hand for 30 minutes before she let go. Camille let out another breath. Heavy. All of Charlotte felt like it was exhaling with her. And then came the first rumble. It was low, almost polite. The kind of vibration you feel before you hear it, like something enormous is rolling through concrete a few blocks away. Camille glanced up. The overhead lights flickered. Then again. Then steadied. Probably a transformer, someone muttered. But then someone else, not a patient, not a nurse, screamed. 9:01 a.m. Camille was on her feet before she could process it. A tech ran down the east hallway. "You need to see this, out the windows. You need to see this right now." Camille followed. So did a few others. Someone pushed open the stairwell door that led up to the west side observation hallway. It overlooked the S. Kings Drive corridor and the skyline beyond. They reached the glass and froze. The sky had split. Not in color, not in weather, in geometry. A colossal black structure, perfectly symmetrical, was descending behind the towers of uptown Charlotte. It made the Bank of America building look like a chess piece. It didn't shimmer, it didn't flash. It just blocked out the sun. More shapes followed. Dozens, lower, wider, like enormous surgical blades being laid flat over the city. Camille's breath fogged the glass. Beside her, a resident whispered, That's not a plane." 9:04 a.m. The hospital pagers went off all at once. Code black, code orange, mass casualty event. The ER lit up like a war room. "We need everyone scrubbed in, every trauma bay open, clear the walk-ins, divert pediatrics, pull extra vents," Dr. Zhang shouted over the chaos as nurses mobilized. Camille dropped her coffee and sprinted back to Bay 2. She tied her hair back, pulled gloves, prepped fluids. It was second nature. But she wasn't breathing right. The vibrations were getting worse, deeper, heavier. And then the first ambulance rolled up. Its windows were shattered. Its driver was gone. The patient in the back, charred, not burned, not cut. Charred smooth like they'd been compressed and flash heated at the same time. Camille turned away, swallowed bile. "They said it was a gas main," the EMT stammered. "Bullshit," another medic muttered. "It came from the sky, I saw it, it wasn't human." The charge nurse pulled Camille aside. "There's more coming. We don't know what it is, just brace." 9:07 a.m. The second wave hit while Camille was tubing a trauma patient. She didn't see it, she felt it. A pop. Then silence. Every light in the trauma bay cut out. Monitors, vents, alarms, gone. Then, backup power flickered on. Red strips of emergency lighting cast the ER in a pulsing glow like a horror movie. "We're blind," someone snapped. "Get the hand pumps ready." Camille slammed her shoulder against a cabinet, grabbed an ambu bag, started ventilating. Her knuckles white. Her patient, a teenager with plasma burns down his chest, gasped for air with every squeeze. And then, a sound. From outside. A pulse. Felt more than heard. Camille turned. Through the open bay doors, out beyond the front lobby, a shape lowered onto the ER parking deck. A machine. 2 stories tall. Not tank-like. Not clunky. Precise. Surgical. Horrifying. It rotated. Scanned. Paused. Then it fired. 9:11 a.m. Camille didn't register the explosion, just the pressure, like the air was ripped in half. The glass atrium that framed the ER shattered in a wave of glass and steel. People were thrown backward, gurneys flipped. The front desk was gone. Screaming. Real screaming. Not panicked, not dramatic. Final. Raw. She threw herself over the boy on the gurney. Glass carved across her back. The pulse monitors beside her exploded. She crawled. Smoke filled her lungs. She couldn't find her voice. Where was Zhang? Where was the team? A body, missing a leg, lay face down in the hallway. A woman pinned under a filing cabinet cried until her throat gave out. Camille grabbed the boy's gurney, started pushing. One wheel jammed. Sparks flew as she dragged it down the hallway. 9:14 a.m. There was no hospital anymore. Just broken corridors, burnt walls, sparking wires. Camille kicked open the stairwell door and began dragging the gurney upward. She reached the 3rd floor before she heard the new sound. Marching. Not boots, metal legs, 6 of them. Precise, unstoppable. One came through the 1st floor lobby doors, then 2 more. Each bore a beam cannon at the center of its chassis. No eyes, no face, no mercy. A security guard tried to fire his weapon. The machine vaporized him mid-motion. Camille ran, gurney abandoned. 9:17 a.m. She reached the surgical ward. Silent, lights flickering. She barricaded the door with a crash cart, blood dripping down her arm, her breathing ragged, every muscle shaking. Outside, the machines moved floor to floor, cleansing, not attacking, not fighting, removing. She dropped to the floor and curled behind a supply cabinet. Alone. The last working intercom on the wall crackled, then died. And in that silence, Camille realized something. They weren't bombing the city. They weren't invading. They were replacing it. End of Chapter 3, Code Black.